when the police did nothing over there, when my friend and client Andy No got assaulted in 2019 and beyond, I stepped in, sued, and eventually got judgments in those cases, all while the city did nothing. And this is past time for it to be over. And so we're hopefully going to see the National Guard in there in Portland to bring some order. But you cannot just attack ICE agents and federal courthouses and journalists in America and get away with it. That's the message of this Department of Justice.
And we'll be talking to Andy No in just a minute. And to your point, U.S. Northern Command just confirming that 200 Oregon National Guard personnel have been activated under federal command to support the protection of federal personnel in greater Portland area. What do you think about the Democrat leaders saying, no, we got everything under control here? Trump is acting like a dictator. This is federal overreach. We have about a minute. What do you have to say to that, ma'am?
I would say he's saying, don't believe your lying, cheating eyes, but a federal court and a federal court monitor have said something different. It is very clear that Portland is literally in the bottom of the barrel of good policing. And, they're about to find out what that means. There will be consequences for Portland, and very stupid and wrong to arrest a journalist just for doing his job. And I fully expect that if they want to get smart about getting better outcomes here, they dismiss that charge. That's going to be up to them, of course, but federally, the pain is just beginning for Portland, and we're going to make sure that we see this through.
Harmeet Dhillon, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
As we mentioned, our next guest, all too familiar with Antifa as well. He's a senior editor at the Post Millennial. He's also the New York Times bestselling author of Unmasked, Inside Antifa's Radical Plan to Destroy Democracy. Andy No, you just heard Harmeet Dhillon talk about your case when you were attacked by Antifa members in Portland yourself back in 2019. Trump has now designated them as a terrorist organization. Now, Nick Sortor, before his arrest last night, he posted this clip of an Antifa member jumping onto federal property at the Portland ICE facility after repeatedly being told to stay off. The person said, do something about it. And well, they did. What do you think was going on with the Portland police and their priorities?
Well, I was shocked when earlier this week the Portland police chief came out essentially running cover for Antifa by downplaying the months of nightly rioting that have happened on one city block. And it seemed to suggest that because it was in just one small area of the city, it was no big deal. But within the city block, journalists have been attacked over and over, my colleague and others that I know who have been out there. And if it wasn't for their footage, we wouldn't know really what was happening out on the ground. We would have to rely on the legacy media, who are nowhere to be found. And worse, they are also running cover for Antifa by running reports and opinion pieces saying, Portland's completely fine, don't come here, referring to the federal government.
And Andy, also you have Democrats saying that, Antifa doesn't exist. It's an ideology. These are organic protests. What do you have to say to that?
Antifa act as shock troops for Democrats, so of course they're going to deny the existence of Antifa because Democrats benefit when Antifa carry out acts of violence against conservatives and disenfranchise them from the democratic and electoral process. They have a symbiotic relationship.
And Caroline Leavitt, White House press secretary, she addressed the chaos in Portland. Take a listen.
Just last night, we saw an extremely troubling incident where conservative journalist Nick Sortor was captured on video being taken into custody by the Portland police after he was ambushed by Antifa and was defending himself from these assaults. This incident is part of a troubling trend in Portland where left-wing mobs believe they get to decide who can visit and live in their city. It is not their city. It is the American people's city, and President Trump is going to restore that. I just spoke with the president about this, and he has directed his team here at the White House to begin reviewing aid that can potentially be cut in Portland.
Andy, what do you think about the Trump administration taking this extremely seriously?
They have to. The violence has been going on for far too long. And unfortunately, I myself have experienced what poor police leadership in Portland looks like. Out of all the times that I've been nearly killed in Portland, nobody was ever arrested. And I have myself witnessed how Portland police will arrest those on the right during brawls and at riots and literally arrest 0 people who are on the Antifa side.
Unbelievable. Andy No, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.